Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, then welcome. Welcome all. Hi, this is a shifting video. You might hear some noises in the background and you might hear some insanely happy laughter. I am going to jump right into what happened. I don't know if you remember what happened the last time I went back, but I was pretty eager and because I didn't go back for a while. It's been like almost a week probably since I saw Toshinori. I did see Frodo, however, so me and Frodo have this little game we play now. What is that blowing around behind me? I'm sorry, guys. It's so hot. Whew, that is so blurry. What is going on with our camera? What's happening? Please adjust. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I don't know why that happened. My camera just went blurry for no reason. So I'm going to tell you guys what happened to me when I went back to my hero. Hold on. I'm going to jump right into it. So it had been like over a little bit. So you guys remember last time when I went there? So it hasn't been a week yet. Okay, maybe it's been like 5 or 6 days or something. I don't know. Since I've been to see Toshinori. And the thing is, I was afraid to go back because I knew what he was trying to do to me last time. So I had come up with this elaborate plan to not to sabotage anything. My goal was to just let him know, basically just kind of like hand myself over to him, like completely submit to him. So I decided to get some honey. And I know this by the way, this video is going to be a little bit cringy because of what I did to try and get his attention. I took some rose petals and I forgot to bring them over, like the red ones on my wall there, and some honey. And I basically put honey on places in my body where, special places that are considered like goodies or whatever. And I basically put them over me, kind of like to shield those special areas. But basically, kind of wore nothing. Okay, I just had that part covered, but the rest of me like out. So my skin was showing a lot, like a whole lot. And I went to Toshinori's house and I made sure nobody saw me and I knocked on his door. Instead of shifting into the house like I normally would do, I decided just to knock on the door. I walk in and Toshinori is sitting down. And it's weird because so the way the door is kind of like behind me, and but it's like slightly cracked. I couldn't close it all the way because something was like in the door. Like it was like it had like a stopper or something in it. I don't know. I was trying to get the door to close all the way. It wouldn't really close all the way. Anyway, so Toshinori is sitting there, and I noticed so the TV was on next to him over here. So I'm like, imagine I'm sitting opposite of how I'm sitting now. The TV will be on this side of me though, and he was sitting on a stool. And Toshinori was all dressed up. He had on his he was in a full like suit and tie, just like he was going to go work or something. But Toshinori doesn't usually work at this time. I mean, right? Doesn't he usually have the time off in the morning? So I figured this was the perfect time to come over and talk to him. So I walk in and I don't just have these things in my hand, I have them in a box. It's basically just handcuffs, it's like blindfold, and it's a paddle. Just in case he needs to paddle me, I guess. I'll just take it, for the sake of him. Because he hasn't I want him to be able to accept my apology. So I figured I would come here and just beg him for forgiveness and he would just forgive me. So I walk in, Toshinori's sitting there all smug and everything, and he kind of has his hand like this, sitting like leaned up against the wall. And so then I go, Toshinori, I tell him, I'm so sorry for what I did. I won't ever, ever, ever do it again. And I feel like to show you that you can trust me, I need to let you know that I trust you more than anything. And so, like, he's still sitting, like, kind of like this, like, just looking at me. And I go, so Toshinori, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. And I have something for you to prove how sorry I am. And I didn't tell him about, what I was doing yet. I was going to be like, look, ta-da, and reveal it. And then, he would probably start smirking or smiling or whatever, or get that cynical look on his face. Like, she's going to let me do whatever I want kind of thing, right? Toshinori gets up and stands so that he's like kind of standing over me. And I'm just looking up at him. I'm just like, okay. And he leans forward. And I'm thinking, he's going to lean down and give me a kiss. Like he's going to kiss me. So then, like, I kind of kind of lean up against to him. And his face gets right here. And then he just says, Cotton Candy Doll, I'm not going to forgive you. You just need to be okay with that. Like, I'm not going to forgive you for this time. And I'm just like, what? And then he sits back down, and now his arms are folded. He's like this. So then I open the box. I'm like, okay, so now I have my, my plan B. I have my a special box that I brought with me with all my stuff, the paddle and blindfold and handcuffs in it. Because I figure he's going to want to probably drag me out of the room, and I'll go willingly, to show him that I trust him so that way he can trust me again and just know that I won't do this. I know I say that I'll never ever do something again, and sometimes I do, but I'm 100% serious this time. I think I really did push it too far. So I go inside of this box. I have these items for you to show my trust and my love for you. Toshinori, you can use these on me however you like, and I will not resist. I'm willing to submit myself willingly for you. I will do it for you because of my feelings for you. And I take out the blindfold and I'm like, this blindfold represents the trust that I'll have for you. It represents how much I trust you, even though I won't be able to see because I know that no harm will come to me. I take out the cuffs and I go, this is because we have an unbreakable bond, chains that hold us together for life. These chains will never be broken. And I put it back in. And I take out the paddle and I say, this is for discipline, to show strength and struggle between a relationship. And I put it back inside and I go, and I hand these gifts to you. Then the door opens behind me all the way so that I'm kind of pushed a little bit. And so then Keigo walks in. He looks at me, he looks at Toshinori, and he goes, what's going on here? And Toshinori goes, nothing. You ready to go? And he goes, yeah. Toshinori just walks past me. Total rejection, guys. Total rejection. And so then Keigo shoots a look at me, and his lips kind of turn up. And then I look back at Toshinori as he's walking out, and he kind of looks back and he's like smirks at me. So it's kind of like he did get me back there. Because you know what? Keigo probably heard my whole conversation about how much I trust Toshinori and what I'm willing to let him do. And now he's jealous. Because he threw me that look, and it was a look of jealousy. It was a look of like, what? You're going to do this for him, but you would never do something like that for me. Of course not, Kayla, because you're too overpowering all the time anyway. He just is. Like, he's the one person I don't really want to give up all my control to. And I don't think I'm ready for that yet with him because I feel like, oh no, he's kind of rough. I mean, I can't say it's not enjoyable, but it's pretty rough with Kegel. And I know when I come back again, I'm going to have to deal with Kegel next time because this was my time with Toshinori, and Toshinori is walking out on me right now. So I was just like, okay. So as he's leaving, I'm like, shit. I just wish Kegel hadn't seen me like that because that was for Toshinori's eyes only. Also, now he's going to get all these ideas in his head for when I go back, and I know I'm going to have to deal with him, and I'm going to have to. So Toshinori basically got me back when he did that. When he, allowing Kegel to see me like that. He could have said, let's go in the room and talk, and brought me into the room with him. He could have taken my hand, he could have led me back to the room, but the door was cracked open, and it was on purpose so that Kegel could see me. Now, I don't think he knew I was going to dress that way, but I knew he knew I was going to try and beg him or something. And I've never really begged Kegel to do anything to me or anything, so I know he's going to be. So I came back here. My guy bring me back. That was my little bit of time I spent with Toshinori. Sorry. So I went to my Discord crew and I chatted with them, and we came up with a little plan that we can do for Kegel. So Kegel doesn't get all these crazy ideas. I kind of want him to burn that image out of my head, but I know for a fact he's not because he's already seeing me like that. He's seen me at my most vulnerable, except I was talking to Toshinori. He's going to want that same vulnerability with me. And it's also my fault for not showing him how much I care for him. I'm always in Toshinori's face all the time. But that's because, you know, it's time for me to spend with him. You just happen to pop up there. Now, that would have never happened if Toshinori had just followed procedure like how we normally have it. Because we have our days when I'm there. And it's usually in the mornings. It's on certain days when I'm meeting with him. He invited Keiko there on purpose because he wanted to hear or see something and get jealous. So he's using that as to his advantage to, get back at me because he knows I'm going to have to deal with this behavior next time. So because I knew this was going to be an issue for me. Sorry. Ugh. It is so hot, guys. I am like dying in this. I'm dying to get out of this office. That's why I'm trying to do my video as quick as possible. But I also want to tell you guys, let you know what our plan was. I thought about it. I said, what could I possibly do? They were coming up with all these crazy ideas. Shout outs to you guys, by the way. But yes, you guys are nuts. They were coming up with ideas that would get me killed. Like poison them, just poison them and just to get them to do whatever you want. Like I said, I want to be able to walk in the house with Kago, tell him, go lay down, have him lay down, let me do a bunch of crap to him, have him say like I'm your bitch and stuff, and then ta-da, and it'll be a happy day for me. But I know for a fact that's not gonna happen. It's probably gonna be the other way around. I'm gonna walk in and he's gonna tell me go lay down or whatever, or not even tell me that, just take me over there and it's over. So like, and then it's game over. So like, I was trying to think, what could I possibly do? They were coming up with all this crazy stuff. Let's use some kind of spell. Oh, just put this, not that it won't work, but I don't want to do anything that's gonna backfire on me because it has in the past. So I thought, what's the one thing I have not done? Can't go yet. Guess what it is, guys? You'll never guess. I have never, ever, 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 ever written Keiko a love letter. He is going to melt. His heart is going to melt if I read him this letter. I'm going to read it to you guys first. So when I go back tonight, you guys can tell me how the letter sounds. If you think I should add anything, if I added too much. It's really not that long of a letter. It's a love letter expressing my feelings, but he knows how I feel from the letter. And I'm hoping that'll be enough to melt the cold and jealousy away and make it so that he trusts me completely and he'll let me take control of him. Because honestly, he's the one, he has not let me take control over his body. I think I'm going to focus on him first. I don't know what I'm going to do about Toshinori yet. I think he just needs more time. Even though it's been almost a week and I went back there this is the 5th or 6th day since I've been back there. Besides to see Frodo, that doesn't count. But this is the letter I wrote. I have 2 hearts. I don't know if you guys can see the hearts. All right, I'm going to read to you what I wrote, okay? You guys tell me if this sounds good for Kegel. If I want to know if this is going to melt his heart. I want him to be putty in my end by the time I'm done reading this letter. He's gonna die if I read this to him. Okay. Dear Kegel, my heart of hearts. My love of fantasy, father of my child. I love you this much. So, so, so much. Ever since you saved my life, I knew then that I'd fallen for you. I am head over heels, madly in love with you. Just thinking about you drives me crazy. I'm yours for all eternity. My love for you will only keep growing. My sweet love, Kegel. Always, you're in my heart. XO, XO. Hugs and kisses, hugs and kisses. Mwah, mwah. I'll do this to him, and then maybe he'll know how much I love him. I'm hoping that's enough to melt his heart or melt the coldness from around it, because I love him this much. I just want him to know that I really do love him. And it did start when he saved my life. I think I fell in love with him then. I just ignored it. I refused to admit those feelings because, like I said, during that time, I had made up my plan for Toshinori and what I was going to do to him. And that was when that was when it all started. So I'm hoping that this works. I want to go there tonight and present this letter to him. I want to read this letter. I hope that Kegel knows that I'm reading this because, like I said, I didn't really make him feel like his love is equal as far as our relationship goes. Like, oh, you can't love two people because you might love one more than the other. You just need to make them feel like they're loved, and he needs to feel secure where we are. We don't need to feel like I don't want him to feel like I could ever drift apart from him. I don't know if he'll get that idea. And I don't know if Toshinori, I feel like Toshinori is an asshole for that because you're just making him feel that way on purpose. You're manipulating his feelings so that he can, lash out at me, basically. But it's not going to work if I read this letter. It won't work. Now, if Toshinori keeps behaving this way, I really am going to I might become like a kind of yandere person, okay? Because he won't ignore me. I love him, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. And if he'll never forgive me, that means I can do whatever I want to him, right? Now, Keigo, on the other hand, I want him to. I want to read this letter. I want to read this letter to him, and I want an embrace from him. I want a kiss from him, and I want to be able to do what I want to him, to show him. And then while I do it, I'm going to say, because this is how much I love you, and I have to show my love for you since I haven't shown it as much as you like. This is my way of doing it. Now, that's what I'm hoping will happen. What could happen is he could say, well, I know that you feel that way, and I'm so happy that you wrote this letter for me, and I'm just so, wow, a letter. I can't believe you wrote me a letter. That is so great. That is so awesome. I love it. I love you. And then say, this shows me how much that you love and care for me and that you trust me. So this is why you should submit yourself to me completely to show how much, because the letter already said it. You proved it yourself, so you should have no trouble submitting or some crap to me or some crap. He's gonna say like, you should have no trouble submitting to me and you should give yourself to me fully because of this. I should be able to do whatever I want, cross whatever boundaries I like. Because I know him. I know he'll say, I know everything he's gonna say already. But I'm hoping that that won't happen. I'm hoping he'll read this and he'll think it's really cute and sweet and I hope he just dies and melts. I hope it just melts his heart so much that when he gets this letter, he is just so flustered and his heart just flutters so much that I will just be able to do whatever I want and it won't be any issue. He'll just know I'm in love with him. I want his face to just keep beaming red, and for once he'll just be mine for like the entire day. Like that's what I want from him. Like I want to be able to hold his I want to be able to hold his sack in my hands, all of him, like his paws and his, you know, and be able to do this to them and play with them and just whatever, and then watch him, I know I'm having my sick thoughts, and that kind of candy. I was pretty sick in the head with that, but seriously, that's what I want from him. I want him to just. I mean, he hasn't given himself to me. I know what you're gonna say. Oh, you haven't given yourself to him. Yeah, I have plenty of time. I just don't give up all my. I just don't completely submit to Hegel. I'm not going to. He would rip me apart. There are times when I have to be careful. Like I told him, you need to be more gentle with me if you want me to be alive. If you don't want to like hurt me. And then he'll say, I won't hurt you. He'll calm down, but he'll calm down, but then he gets riled up again. And I have to like kind of back away. Then he'll say, oh, you're running away. Yeah, because it's becoming too intense for me. Like you need to chill, kind of. So yeah, it can be a lot with him. I won't let him completely use it. I don't really believe he'll hurt me. I just don't want to. I'm just afraid to cross that extra line with him because I feel like, yes, it's going to. What is the word? There is no way for me to explain this to you like, unless you like actually like sleep with people. Okay. How do I explain it? I don't know how to explain it to you. I don't want to be like that sore to where I'm like hurting now. I'm in pain. But I also don't want to be that um like pounded that like I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how to explain to you people. To you people. I don't know how to explain to you people, my fans. Sorry. I don't know how to explain it. Like you guys know. Like you're not kids, so you know. Oh, you might be. I don't know. Because I can't control who watches this channel. I really can't. All I can tell you guys is to be like mature. But I don't know if you actually are. So you guys know the feeling when it's too much. And then, okay, I'll explain it to you. If it's too much, you get drained. Okay. You'll be drained to where you won't have energy for the entire day. You'll be tired. You'll need to rest. You'll start passing out in places, not passing out physically, like passing out like oh, but like sleeping. You'll start falling asleep. You won't have energy to do anything. You'll be sore all over. And I have places to be. I have errands. I have work. I have other stuff. I really can't afford to be that way. So having it gentle and light, even with that, you're still gonna be tired depending on how it is. You might even be a little bit sore. But you don't have to be that sore. You don't have to have, your back blown out because you don't have to have, your legs don't have to be like jello, okay? Unless they make them that way. We're holding them up for so long. We're just holding them up for a long time. We're just, we're getting Charlie horses in places you don't want to. And then the next day you have to deal with that too. Like, these are all things to think about. For those of us who think about that. I got a Charlie horse one time. Oh, that was not fun. That was not fun, guys. But I hope he reads the letter and he's just like, oh my god, I love her so much. And then I can just do whatever I want. I hope it doesn't backfire on me. I have a feeling my friend is probably looking at this grinning like it probably will because you can see what happens. But I'm just hoping my plan works. If you guys have a better plan, put it in the comments. I can add it on to my letter. That way he gets this and he gets whatever plan you're going to give me to do. I'm not going to give him a letter and then drug him. No, guys, please don't write that in the comments because that means that you hate me and you want me to die. And Cotton Candy now wants to live a little bit, okay, for a little bit, not a lot, just a little. Anyway, guys, so I know my video was short, but I needed to just explain what happened. Toshinori is still upset, and like I said, if he doesn't come around, I'm gonna make him come around. And even if he has to get back at me, I'll take him getting back at me, whatever. If it gets us back to where we need to be, because I mean, I don't know what else to do. Like when I go back there, I don't know what he's gonna say. What I do hope is not gonna happen is I go back there and oh god, I read this to Keigo and Keigo is like okay, and then I go to and Keigo, I think I'm gonna let Keigo I think Keigo's gonna let me touch him and be he's gonna be my plaything, and then it turns around on me and I end up becoming the plaything, but also then Toshinori pops up out of nowhere and say some crap like, and then I have to deal with both of them because they're like that sometimes. And I'm hoping I won't have to deal with anything. I hope that this works, guys. So yes, no drugs and a letter. That's ridiculous. Because then the other plan, if you want me to give him drugs and then give him the letter, or give him the letter, give him drugs after, then that means that that plan is going to cancel out this one. This one is going to become useless. So whether he remembers it or not. Oops, sorry about that. I forgot to put my phone on silent. I have no idea who that is. Probably, I don't know. I don't recognize the number. I absolutely hate stuff like that. Like, why am I getting a call at this time of day? Seriously. People have no manners. Anyway, guys. I'm glad I shared my plan with you. Tell me if you think this is gonna work, if you think it's a good plan. I'm gonna go back there tonight. I'll probably do my video tomorrow to let you guys know what happened. If I'm alive tomorrow, then I'll do I think I'll be fine. It's just Toshinori's I'm worried about, and now Keigo is gonna be the one I'm worried about. But I want him to know how much I really do love him and care about him, so that way he doesn't have any more doubts. Like I said, it's my fault for not showing him and allowing him to have that doubt. Because as a partner, whoever your partner is, they need to feel like you love them and you should say it. If they say it, you should definitely say it. Even if they don't say it, you should remind them how much you love them and let them know that they're an important part of your life so you don't lose them. I don't think I'll ever lose him. Like, I don't think Toshinori will ever say, like, I'm done with you, Cotton Candy Dot, or something like that. I just think that, he'll distance, and it'll become one of those things where he's kidnapping me for something, and it's not really, or he'll do something even worse than that guy, something even worse. He'll tell me I can't ever touch him for like a year, like he did to me last time. Remember? He wouldn't let me touch him. He said only I can touch you and all this stuff. And yeah, I remember that time. That was earlier on though, because of all the stuff I did to him. I didn't do any of that, so it's okay. All right, I'm gonna end the video here. I've kept you guys long enough. I just want to say, guys, thank you all for watching, and don't forget to comment if you like this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, you know what to do. Also, don't forget to ring the bell. That way you're notified. There's a notification bell. That way you're notified when my video becomes available. Bing! So I'll see you guys in my next video, which will probably be tomorrow. So just wish me luck. I'll see you all next time. Bye!